Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Lim-Nakron. Okay, just getting to some of the top stories that we were following overnight and this morning, I should say. 3 different fires across metro Atlanta have kept firefighters spread across the area, this morning, even starting last night. Again, at least 3 different fires. So more than 13 different fire departments have been involved in fighting these fires. 50 firefighters, 13 different fire department vehicles, I should say, and 50 firefighters came to a house off of State Street in Midtown around 2:30 a.m. after reports of a fire there. The battalion chief saying that 2 people were taken to Grady Memorial Hospital in critical condition, suffering from burns and smoke inhalation as well. He later said 2 people had actually died, most likely the same 2 people who were taken to the hospital. 7 people in all were inside that home. While some of them did manage to get out on their own, 3 of them had to be rescued by firefighters. 1 other person was also taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The battalion chief saying that he jumped out of a window from the 2nd floor, and the American Red Cross is now helping all those displaced.
One that had the minor injuries, he actually jumped out of the window on what would be the 2nd floor on the back side of the building. And when we did our walk around the structure when we got here, we were able to identify him and get him away from the building.
And, in addition to that, fire crews also helped 9 people escape from a first floor fire at 50 Mount Zion Road, which is listed as Nirvana at Glen Rose Apartments. The residents were on the 2nd floor of that complex, and firefighters used ladders to get them to safety, according to fire officials. The 3rd fire was at a vacant home off of Sawtell Avenue. No injuries reported there. The cause of that fire currently unknown, but it's something that we are going to continue to follow, and we'll bring you up to date with all the latest. Also, want to let you know about this major case that we have been following here on Atlanta News First. Hannah Payne found guilty on all counts against her. So that was the verdict read in court for the woman at the center of a Clayton County murder investigation. Hannah Payne was convicted of murdering a man after he allegedly left the scene of a hit and run in 2019. Now, during deliberation, the jury asked to take a last look at some body camera video, but then it only took 30 minutes for them to solidify their verdict. 62-year-old Kenneth Herring left the scene of the hit and run crash that he allegedly caused back in 2019. Prosecutors say Hannah Payne followed him and actually shot him in his truck. Payne was found guilty on 8 counts, which included felony murder as well as malice murder. Payne's attorney told jurors during closing arguments that his client acted in self-defense, but obviously the jury didn't buy it. The victim's family says they are pleased, they are relieved by this decision.
Been long and arduous. It was hard on my family. I'll never forget. It will forever be ingrained in my heart.
Yeah, and sentencing is going to be this Friday.
Long and arduous. It was hard on my family.
Sentencing is going to take place this Friday at 10 a.m. inside the Clayton County Courthouse once again, and we are going to follow the latest on that story as well, and as we continue to follow the outcome on this case as well. Okay, also want to let you know about some activity with the United States Supreme Court as well. We're just following what's happening with the Supreme Court. So what we've learned is that the Supreme Court of the United States is planning to hear a case that could really undo the Capitol riot charge against hundreds of people, and that includes the former president, Donald Trump. So I do want to point you to this story on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com, one of the top stories that we're following it. Now, if you just click on our news section here, you'll be able to find this story, and we go to the national headlines and take a look at it. But you can see here, apologize for the little issue with me trying to get the website to the right spot there. But again, the major headline here is that the United States Supreme Court will hear a case that could have a major impact on the former president, Donald Trump, and, hundreds of others who are charged in the Capitol riots. That's something that we are going to continue to monitor very closely. Of course, the former president is also charged in an election meddling case here in Fulton County, Georgia. So we will follow all of those developments and also how, they are related to each other as well. And at 1 p.m., I'm going to have an attorney join me live for the stream so that we can break down some of these decisions and what they mean. Now, here's another issue that the Supreme Court is going to rule on. What we've just learned a short time ago is that the Supreme Court will rule on limits and restrictions and essentially the law surrounding a commonly used but controversial abortion medicine. So this medication, it apparently this medication is used in the most common method of abortion in the United States. Really, this is the first abortion case since it overturned Roe versus Wade last year that the Supreme Court is going to be taking up this dispute on. So it's something, again, that we're going to follow closely, something that abortion advocates and opponents, of course, are following closely. So we'll make sure that we keep you up to date with the latest on that. Here's another piece of legal news. Now, jury selection is beginning really less than an hour from now in the sexual harassment case involving the former Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard. Howard is accused of pressuring a former employee into engaging in sexual activities. I apologize, I have crowded this graphic on your screen, so I need to shorten that so you can read this headline. But, again, jury selection beginning in the sexual harassment case filed against the former Fulton County DA, Paul Howard. Again, the accusation is he's accused of pressuring a former employee into engaging in sexual activities. He denies this. He says he's innocent. He tried to get the case tossed out. A judge has ruled that there is enough evidence for it to proceed, and so it will be proceeding after all. Okay, we've also been following the latest on, what's happening with books in Marietta. And what we've learned is that now 23 books have been banned in Marietta, and this is a very controversial matter. They're no longer allowed on library shelves in Marietta City schools, these 23 books. The school board voted to ban them last night because of their sexually explicit content. My colleague, Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm, is in Marietta with more on this story.
I've been looking through 3 of the 23 books that were banned by the school board last night here in Marietta, and yes, they do contain situations that are sexually explicit. Take a look. In a 6-1 decision, the Marietta School Board voted to ban the books even in high school. The books vary. Some have heterosexual situations, some homosexual, and some both. 13 of the 23 books had to do with LGBTQ themes, including one that contains experiences of kids discovering that they are transgender. Several parents were happy with the ban, as you're about to hear, but first, here's a student who spoke out against the ban.
We're about to go to college, and they're preparing us to be the future, and we need to be ready to face the realities that we are going to see and be able to develop as not just students, but humans.
Why do we have standards for what they can search on the internet and what movies they see, but we don't have a system for what's in the books? It is their responsibility to have standards set for what is going to be good for our education.
Supporters of the ban point out that the books are still available online and in bookstores. If you'd like to see a list of all the books banned by the City of Marietta schools, we've got them in a story on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com, and on our app. In Marietta, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
So cold. All right, we were just commenting that you can see
how cold
Rebecca's breath because it's so cold. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi chiming in here. And
yep.
Courtney, I don't know. I mean, that doesn't look bad. 60 degrees by 3 p.m.
That's just about where we should be this time of year, even a little bit above it. But yeah, I like to say today the sun puts in overtime because it heats us up so quickly. We started in the upper 20s and low 30s, and now we are going to see that nice climb into the upper 50s to low 60s today. So overall, it'll be a really nice day after quite the cold start. Hopefully everyone bundled up and dressed accordingly this morning to get you out the door. And our mornings will get a little bit warmer the next couple of days. Our afternoons will actually get a little cooler. We'll kind of explain that, and we'll also talk about a first alert for Sunday because we do have the chance for rain on the way for Sunday. So lots to cover here, but as we make our way through the rest of the work in school week, just know that you'll need the jacket or the coat for the morning, and you won't need the umbrella for the next several days. So don't have to worry about sending the kids to school with the raincoat or anything like that. They'll be good to go. Definitely just make sure that they're bundled up for the cooler mornings that we have the next several days. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Thanks so much for spending some time with us this morning here on Atlanta News First Plus. Let's get into the forecast, shall we? So as you saw there, it'll be a really nice day today. One of the differences you'll notice today is a few more clouds building in. We'll have a few high clouds. We call them cirrus clouds. They're really high up clouds that are made primarily of ice crystals, and so they make that really pretty wispy look in the sky. And that's usually an indication of a pattern change. And the pattern change is going to be a front that will be dry that's going to move through and kind of reinforce some cool air. So our afternoon high temperature for tomorrow will actually be a little cooler, and I'll show you that in just a second. Overnight, we will be a little bit warmer because of that cloud cover. It acts as a blanket for us overnight. So overnight lows will drop into the low to mid 30s, 40 if you live inside the perimeter. So overall cold, but at least not in the upper 20s to send you out the door tomorrow morning. Now tomorrow, we will have temperatures again in the mid to upper 50s, so a little cooler. It'll be a nice day of touch on the breezy side tomorrow, as again, we're going to have a dry cold front move in. And that's going to create a change in pressure, and a pressure difference creates wind. So expect it to be a little cooler and just a touch breezy for tomorrow with highs again in the mid 50s. So you'll need the layers for just about all day tomorrow with, again, a morning in the upper 30s to near 40, highs only in the upper 50s with a breeze. If you ask me, that's a jacket worthy at least all day long. Now, as we head into the weekend, no rain on Saturday, but you will notice cloud cover build on Saturday with highs in the upper 50s. And then Sunday is a first alert because of rain. And the rain is kind of up in the air when it comes to how heavy the rain is going to be, our coverage of rain, because of a couple of different systems that we're going to be watching as we head into the weekend. So we have a cold front that will be moving in from the northwest, but at the same time, we'll have not necessarily a tropical low, but a low that's going to form in the Gulf. So it's going to have some tropical characteristics. It's going to be brewing in the Gulf and bringing heavy rain to Florida. And how far north that low goes is very important. So essentially, the speed of that cold front is going to really make a difference when it comes to our forecast for Sunday. Again, Saturday looks dry. Sunday is the day in question. So if that front moves a little faster, keeps that low to our south, which is what the European model is thinking, is what you're looking at on your screen there. This major storm system tracks south of us, and we'll have less rain, just some light scattered showers and a breeze from that cold front moving in. Now, if the GFS model plays out, this is what we're looking at. We'll have pretty much a washout on Sunday as the low tracks across North Georgia. So we'll have widespread heavy rain, and we'll also have a windier day as well, because essentially the closer you get to a center of low pressure, the windier it gets. So that's what we'll be watching for over the weekend, and it's just going to be if this plays out. So I just got so distracted. If you heard me just tripping over my words, the cutest dog just walked into our studio. So anyway, if you know me, I love dogs. Okay, so again, Sunday is just a day in question. We think we're going to have some chance of rain. It's just how widespread is the coverage and how heavy is the rain going to be. These lows, when they develop in the Gulf like that, they pull in a lot of Gulf moisture and result in those heavier downpours. So we'll be keeping an eye on it for you, but right now we're giving you that first alert to just give you a heads up. Hey, we're watching this. We have the potential for rain on Sunday. If you have plans on Sunday that are outdoors, you should start thinking of a backup plan just in case it plays out that low moves in. I will say we are leaning more towards the European model, which is the drier solution for us. Some of our more high-resolution models are starting to at least get close to Sunday, and they're hinting that low is going to stay further south. So we're kind of leaning on the Euro, but again, the GFS, which is the washout solution for us, is still a possibility. So we'll just be keeping an eye on it for you. We know you're already thinking about the weekend. It's Wednesday, so stay tuned here on Atlanta News First Plus, our First Alert weather app. All of that will have updates constantly for you as we're getting new information. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. So near 60 today. It was a frosty morning. We'll have some high clouds build in. It'll be a really nice afternoon. We'll wake up a little warmer tomorrow, but we'll have that dry cold front move in tomorrow. So some cooler air will get reinforced and we'll be in the mid to upper 50s Thursday and Friday. Another very cold morning on the way for Friday. So keep those coats handy. You're definitely going to need them, and you'll need the long sleeves pretty much all afternoon the next couple of days. Cloudy on Saturday, but then that first alert for Sunday with that chance for rain. We're working on fine-tuning the coverage, the intensity, the timing. All of that still needs a little work. When you have these lows that haven't developed yet at all, it's just hard for models to understand where to start and where to finish when you don't have that central location. So we'll keep an eye on it for you. Just know that Sunday is the day we're watching for rain. Some of those showers could linger, especially northeast of the city, into Monday. And then we'll be chilly with overnight lows, so morning lows in the 30s Tuesday with highs in the mid-50s. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoy your Wednesday. Soak in the beautiful afternoon. It's just going to be really pleasant with highs near 60. This time of year, that is very welcome. So, and of course, we'll keep you posted on that first alert for Sunday as we go through the week. Keep it right here on Atlanta News First Plus, and we'll have the latest for you as we go through the day and as we make our way through the week. I hope you enjoy your day, everyone, and we'll catch you here next time.